Lastly, let's look at our routing table. Show IPv6 route. We'll look at just our OSPF routes. And in this case, we can see with OSPFv3 that they spell it out for us a lot better now in the routing table. It says O equals OSPF intra, meaning routes to destinations inside of our area. OI, OSPF inter, meaning routes to destinations outside of our area. And then we have our E1s, our E2, our N1s, and our N2s. And those are like we learned for OSPFv2. Those are routes to external networks, E1 and E2. When we are utilizing default information originate or the redistribution command from normal areas. But if they are not so stubby areas, then we're going to see N1s and N2s, those type of LSAs that are being sent into the area. So all four of those are still pointing to routes outside of our autonomous system or outside of our OSPF routing domain. So let's go over to R7 because R7 is going to see a combination of all three of these. So if we go over to R7, let's see where R7 is. R7 is connected up to R5 and R6, so it's completely in area 567. So I expect to see O routes, OIA routes, as well as E routes. So let's take a look at that in detail. Show IPv6 route. Let's just look at OSPF. And in this case, what do we have? We have an O route, two O routes, and these are referring to destinations inside of our area. So if we look at the topology, 5:/64 and 6:/64 are in area 567. So that's accurate. The OIs are referring to routes outside of our area, so outside of area 567, but still within the OSPF domain. And if you look at these, we have 34::46::456::. And if we look at that, that is true as well. Those are routes that are in area 0. Destination networks that are in area 0. So outside of our area, but still within our routing domain. And then our OE2 routes, as we can see, the OE2 routes are routes that are destination networks that are outside of our routing domain. So they are part of, in this case, the EIGRP v6 network, 12::, 13::, and 23::. You can see they're all within that particular EIGRP autonomous system of 100. So they've been redistributed into the OSPF v3 environment. In addition to that, we have the static route. The static route is pointing to all the other networks that are outside of our OSPF domain. And those would be, for example, the internet. So that was done on R4. On R4, we had a static route to :/0. If we go look at R4, we'll see that. On R4, show IPv6 route. There's the static route that was configured. And if we go into router OSPF configuration, or we look at the output of IPv6 router OSPF configuration mode, so show run pipe to section router, we'll see that we executed the default information originate command, which took the static default route, injected it into the OSPF v3 routing process, and shared that with all the routers. So that's why R7, we can see, has the static default route learned via OSPF v3, and it's classified as an external E2 route.